Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, January 10th, and this is Morning Market Movers, where we do live analysis for day trading and look at hotspots in the markets for the day. I'm Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. With me, Brian Caprice from Keep Trading Simple. Uh, kind of it's a bit of a slowish start to the week. We do have Nat Gas gapping much higher, so we're going to take a look at Nat Gas just going through the roof. The dollar Swiss making some moves, so we're going to take a look at some technical levels in a couple of places where we are seeing some volatility, and then we will take a look at the equities, because we are looking to open lower on the equities. Nasdaq leading us lower by 1%, fifth day in a row where we're looking to see equities drop, but we've got a lot going on this week. Before Brian and I get into it, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. If we take a peek, just a quick peek over at the Nat Gas chart, you can see that we just gapped higher, but just blew through some levels. I think we blew through the top. Ryan's going to take a look at all that. And then, at the end of the day, we are certainly going to take a look at equities, or at the end of the session, because we do have, Brian called it inflation week. I kind of like that, but we've got Powell, Chairman Powell, the Fed chairman, testifying tomorrow. Not prepared remarks. Don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. We don't know what questions he's going to get asked. On Wednesday, we've got CPI. On Thursday, we've got PPI. And on Friday, we've got retail sales. So we've got a string of economic numbers coming out, and we are getting close to the front of earnings season again. So we'll start to get a glimpse at how this is impacting earnings for corporations. So a lot going on, and with all of this, Goldman Sachs announced yesterday, their chief economist, Brian's been saying, hey, we're definitely going to see 3 rate hikes this year, 0.75% rate hikes. Goldman's actually now calling for 4: March, June, Sep, and now December. Although, again, I think Brian might be right, where they
I think
might
they should
shock
go
us by
double.
doing
Yeah.
a double in one of
Yeah.
those. So we still might get those 4, just not evenly spaced out, because I think the Fed might just need to do that. But yeah, we're seeing it. Inflation running hot and labor market tight. They're going to have to do something. So, Brian, let me flip it over to you, and we can take a look at this Nat Gas, the Swiss franc, and then we'll go through the
Mm.
equities, because again, we're just looking soft again this morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry, which one? I'm just
Oh,
basically,
let's
guys,
just
what I
start
was
with
doing over here, I was just saying, I'm over on Daily FX looking at the client sentiment right now to kind of see if there's any major outliers, and it's kind of the same usual suspects that we saw last week on some of them. It looks like the oil people are confused now. They're finally back to zero, basically 50%, 50% net short. So there's no real kind of main direction starting the week with oil. Gold, though, still very, very high. 73% of people are still looking to get long gold at this point. And again, that's the wrong side of the trade right now. I can cover that. And then also, I was looking at the yen over here, kind of see what the yen was doing. It looks like a lot of people are net short, actually falling into yen strength. So yeah, in the last 24 hours, you can see not really a whole lot of movement. The dollar Swiss is actually the kind of outlier, and again, 62 pips in the dollar Swiss is a lot. It's over a daily ATR. A lot of that is the Swiss, but and again, a way to look at that, I actually had it up. The dollar Swiss is up 62, showing dollar strength. If you look across the board, there's a little dollar strength, right? Versus the euros, a little, versus the pounders, a little, versus the yen, there's not, though. And versus the Aussie, again, same thing. It's more or less flat there. So it's definitely a Swiss driven weakness, but then there's also a little bit of sprinkling in there. And again, Swiss is kind of evaporating. There's actually some news out there about, what they wanted to do over in Switzerland. So, you know, this is actually the Swiss yen. What I was trying to do was remove the dollar from the equation just to kind of get a true reading on what the Swiss was doing. Again, down a lot, and we can see that a couple of the other yen pairs are down as well. And then when we go across to the dollar Swiss, you can see that again it is taking off. Now it's at a level that we talked about last week, and we had a kind of a it's a zone that's been tested a few times. Depending from the initial hit or the second, we have at least 3, if not 4 at this point, and actually this is going to hit number 5 of this level. And then we have a large racetrack higher up until this, I don't know what, up until 92.88. So It's the same setup that we had from before, but what it is we're looking for a break of 92.57. I mentioned last week at the end, at the end on Friday, I said I would expect dollar strength going into the new week. We had that kind of bit of dollar weakness on Friday and Thursday, and I'd be looking for it all to retrace it and come in strong this week. And that's kind of what we're already seeing. Even just blocking off when the Europeans started, it was down here, and that's really been kind of just straight up. So, I would expect there may be a pullback opportunity. Again, there will be profit taking. It's just too much movement in one direction in one session with no pullbacks. Again, if we get a little Harry Potter break through the top, that profit taking would come back and put us right back into that old zone where we used to have sellers. So I would say there is that one potential for this. And again, I'll put this across so we can kind of see it. Right there is where we're looking for it, right around the 92.88. So there's something in the Swiss, and we don't talk about the Swiss often, so definitely something there. And then what else did you want to? Oh, I
We were
mentioned
going to look
gold
at
real quick.
Nat Gas. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah, I'll do that in one sec. Yep.
Okay.
Here's gold, just because I mentioned gold, because the sentiment, there's 73% of people are long. Gold did take a piece up, and we talked about when we are crushing inflation, it's not necessarily gold is a great hedge for inflation on the way up, not the way down. And with everything going on, this is what we saw last week, and again, it looks like 1800. Keep it on your radar. Looks like
Every
that's going to be the
time.
new area of I mean, it's a big level. I mean, this is the power of double zeros, but look, it spiked up at 630 and came all the way back down $10 lower at 16 or 1790. So again, an area to watch with a lot of basing. Question is if we can break through this base at 1790, do we come back down to the 1782 where we spiked down last week? And again, we had a buy level there. So kind of an interesting top and bottom in gold. Natural gas obviously is taking off. It's up 6%. It had a heck of a gap. We were talking about it gapping into this 406 range. It gapped past the 406 range and now kind of formed a new level a little bit higher. So, where it is now, we do actually have a level up here at 425. It's kind of one of those quarter numbers. So, again, it is having some issues right now. And I did say last week, watch it. Natural gas is probably going to spike. We had the cold, like I was joking, with my group, Todd, that it was 6 degrees and then -2 for you in Chicago. Then again, natural gas will catch up as people are like, I'm using all my gas. Holy crap, we need more. We need to fill the supplies. Right. Did I expect, this much of a gap? No, I expected about half this gap. I expected we would gap in this area and get a pullback instead of gap higher and pulled back. So, a little bit more than I thought. But again, I did expect a gap this weekend just because, again, with the cold temperatures coming in, we had snow twice last week. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's freezing out right now. It's like, there's no such thing as global warming this week in January. So, again, it's a season. It's one of those seasonal
climate
things.
change.
I mean, you got to change it to, meet the narrative. But I get it. Not like stuff has ever happened before. But yeah, so I would say if we can get up to 425, again, natural gas people, commodity traders, look for a short on that one. And again, where we are right now, if we can get any type of a spike up into there, again, you could have more of like a swing type week-long position in this one. Again, there's plenty of volatility. Is 6% over what a daily move is? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think it'll have an opportunity to crash back down again? Yeah, probably, because it's such a big jump. It's such a big jump. Everybody that was looking at levels down here, all the short trades got taken out. Again, with it jumping this high, there'll be people like, yep, it's going higher. And then when you can find that top, that could be a nice trade that rolls back down again, particularly if warmer weather comes back in. Not everywhere will have, subarctic, subarctic freezing temperatures for the whole month. So I do think there will be see low teens today in Chicago. It was -2 last week. So it's already, triple, 10 times what it was last week.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, we've been saved.
10 times warmer. 10 times more. Sean, you're in upstate Michigan, so that doesn't count. I know that person talking. Yeah, he's in the like a way upper part. It's like basically Canada, So his temperature doesn't count. But yeah, so those are all important to look at. Again, natural gas being high. The other outlier I would say is the NQ. Whenever we talk about indices, we always talk about the VIX first. I mean, this is the VIX in the overnight, guys. We're up 11.73%. That's a huge spike. We were talking about retracing the big move last week from FOMC, and we were pushed all the way back down again. And this is why I said you got to be careful of the weekend. All kinds of things can happen. If you look at the headlines we've seen from this weekend, there's a lot of this talking, there's a nice little article over here talking about security, not economics, is going to drive the U.S. trade agreement with Asia. Again, going back and forth over the Taiwan issue. Last week, it was like going through another country. We heard headlines yesterday talking about how the Russian delegation, the U.S. delegation, expect nothing to come from their meeting today because of the. Yeah. Oh, okay, come here.
Oh, Jen's back.
She's back, guys. She's much bigger than the picture, but she's she wants to be with Daddy today. So
January, our star today.
You see your picture? Can you say hi? Can you wave to everybody? Say hi. Now she's all nervous. She sees her picture though.
Hold
So
on. Yeah, I'm gonna do this just so
there
we
you
can
go.
see.
You see?
Hey.
You see yourself? Say hi to everybody. Oh, now she's all
Our
shy.
guest star. We're gonna have
Yeah,
to get her. We're gonna have to get her new card.
exactly right. I'm gonna get her
This
little
could
button up with
be
the Nadex logo.
her actor card, her Screen
Exactly,
Actors Guild
exactly.
card. She had a speaking
Um,
role. Yeah,
yeah, but
I do want to. I mean, when we look at, when we look at Nasdaq. I mean, this has been pretty
yeah.
ugly, and we're looking ugly again.
hmm
Um, I don't know.
Well, Tesla.
Where are we
If
going to
you look at
start seeing
Tesla,
some support?
yeah, I mean, Tesla, we were looking for it. It's been down there a couple areas, and we got a little bit of a pop. And then again, Friday, that number really set Tesla off. So we got to remove a level higher. And again, we were talking about that channel breaking through the top side. But, we do have basing here. I mean, this is, and we talk about psychological levels. Right now, if we were to open, we'd be at 996. So we're literally fluctuating right around that 1,000 mark. And again, just like all the big numbers, you have the 1,800, you have the 36,000, 35,000. I mean, all these big numbers, they're psychological factors. The difference with this one, and again, I think Tesla right now is the main driver for this. If Tesla can start to turn, that would definitely help out. Again, right now, Apple is also down, but again, not necessarily surprising. With Apple is a little bit more sensitive to China for some reason. Whenever we get Chinese news, Apple seems to take hits. Hey, we're good. We're good. She's fine. Um, everybody's on today. If I can get Kit,
Hey,
then I
you
can get
gotta
the
get
whole
the whole
family.
family on.
Everybody wants to be on stream.
I
Um,
like it.
But the reason why I like this area, it did base and it did have a very strong push off of it. And the last time it touched it late on Friday, we did have a hit on it. And again, right now we're really pre-market hours. There's not really anybody in there, so we have pushed into it. And it is an area where we have seen buyers. If you look at the headlines, there's not really a ton out there that are driving it. Like I said, Omicron is still a factor. Omicron is now in China. There's like 10, 20 cases or something like that. So they're worried about that is a potential contagion. So you know, right now, all we're hearing is, what's going on with schools. We're hearing that it's expanding. Now there's now a strain that they found that is a combination of Delta and Omicron
Yes,
together. That was
Deltacron.
yeah, Deltacron, right? I said that last week. God forbid we ever get an Omicron with Delta's potency. We're in like serious trouble. And then bam, 2 days later. I'm going to stop saying stuff like that because
Because
it
someone's
keeps
paying
coming true.
attention.
Yeah, someone's listening. So yeah, I would say today, watch guys. Look, again, people are going to see this big negative sentiment and be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to short NQ today. I have to. But we definitely have buyers down here. There's big psychological levels. We're sitting right at the 800 mark, or the what is it? The 15,400 mark. We're pretty close to it. And again, there's a bunch of these 100 things, and we've had buyers here in the past. We had that short that we talked about last week. But this is the problem with the weekend. We were talking about a break of 15,486, dropping down to 440. Hit it. Yeah, at 6:30 this morning, it hit that area, pulled up, and it was like, yes, and then pulled down, and it just didn't have enough effort to get back up in that Harry Potter. Unfortunately, when we're outside of U.S. trading hours, that happens sometimes. So, it did take the nice push down, but you can see it stopped sitting right on a red line. And this is another area where if we go back, we know that there was some choppiness, but this is where kind of this strong kind of momentum started to pick back up again. So, again, people will see this right across the board and think, okay, that's it. We got to go short today. The way to play this is going to be drop this down to a 15-minute and start looking for some new levels, right? I mean, this could be the bottom for the day. It may not be. This just may be the pullback. But again,
Right.
if you are looking for pullback opportunities, you can start running some fibs in there. You can look for your 23s, your 50 right now. If this is close to where the bottom is, right? If we are close to where the bottom is for the day, the 50 is right around an area where there's basing and a strong push out of it. So, that may be a level to watch later on today if we run back up again, the 15,517. But overall, I think they're negative because, again, the news with us and China trade agreement and then us and Russia that nothing's going to happen, that
Right.
the
And there's
aggression over the
concerns
border in the Ukraine
Yep.
is there. But again, it's weird because then a week before they're like, we should never use nuclear weapons ever.
Right. And then what? They're going to threaten to use them. I don't.
Yeah, but we're still going in. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dow seems to be the one that's holding. I mean, it's still down a little bit.
Yep.
It seems to be the one that's holding
Mhm.
a touch. I don't know if we want to take a look at that.
Yeah,
because then it's going to
yeah.
be an interesting week all week long.
Yeah, I mean, we had some Harry Potter trades over here. None of them really got entered. We hit it clean on the 9th and pulled right back up again. And then again, we kind of pierced that level again and pulled right back up very fast. So neither of them, we didn't get really any of the basing that we were looking for. I don't need that anymore. it's funny. This one came off that same. If I can, bring this across, you can see that's what it's reversing off of. I would say right now, I mean, with everything going good in the economy, remember, I mean, overseas tech is going to have more foreign exposure than the Dow is going to have. The Dow is going to be more based off of kind of what's happening in the United States versus internationally. Because again, it's not like America has the cheapest products out there, and the Dow is typically associated with manufacturing and product production and transportation. So I would say right now, I mean, right now we have if this candle, again, we got 15 minutes to go, it just opened. If this candle can stay green, that'll now give us a higher low right around the time that we're opening up. So, it could be, depending on what your sentiment is, with the news. And again, I'm not watching the media, but you got to realize people will be looking right around this, and actually it broke through the 23.6. So there's a common pullback. The next big popular area for shorts is going to be up here at 36,070. That's right around that 50% retracement from the morning's highs to lows. So, again, in the next 30 minutes, if we can get up to there could be a selling opportunities. People try to jump in, but if not, this could be the start of a trend to rally us back up again. Because again, super negative in the European session, U.S. traders will come online and be like, no, the economy's not bad. It's not weak.
Right.
We could be good. So,
and we are going to get them. I mean, we're going to be coming in during season. We're going to, I think that's going to be entertaining to see as those numbers come in versus the economy, the economic numbers, and then the actual performance of the corporations.
Again, I don't know if it's like this in Chicago, but I know everybody in Maryland right now is showing pictures of like the shelves, like the shelves in the supermarkets are in here. They're like, oh, supply chain shortages and staff and shipping. So we're starting to see that. And again, remember, when we have shortages, it goes back to the old supply and demand kind of argument, and prices go up. So inflation goes higher when everybody's in demand for things. So yeah, going to be this is definitely the week of inflation tomorrow, and then CPI and then PPI right in a row. Bam, bam, bam. 3 days in a row.
Yep. We got that. It is going to be a week of data. So with that, for a Monday, at least we're kind of setting you up for the week. If you have any questions for Nadex, please email us customerservice@nadex.com. Brian, support@keeptradingsimple.com. For once, I actually threw my email. I mentioned I was going to put it up there. If anyone would like to reach out to me, I'm always accessible as well. You can catch me at todd.rich@ig.com. At least for the time being, until hopefully sometime early this year, the acquisition by crypto.com will actually occur, and then I'll get a new email address. So that should be kind of entertaining. And with that, again, we've kind of teed it up. Remember, we've got Powell speaking tomorrow, so that could be interesting. And it's not a prepared remarks; it's testimony. Wednesday CPI, Thursday PPI, Friday retail sales. We're going to be getting economic data all week. It's going to be an interesting week. Be sure to join us in the morning. We'll try to sort through it, get you ready for each one of these numbers as best we can. Take a look at what's going on in the markets, take a look at some technical levels, but we should see some volatility this week. It's going to be some trading opportunity. With that, Brian and I will catch you tomorrow morning. Stay warm, stay safe, and good luck in the markets, everyone.